I'm your host, LA, and welcome to Inside Chat. This week, I am honoured to speak with Prema's team manager, René Rosin, and he's here to give us an insight into the team, their drivers, and himself. Well, welcome to Inside Chat, René. It is great to see you. And how are you today?
Thank you very much. Everything is okay. Just we are arriving in Monaco, preparing the second round of FIA Formula 2. And today there is installation day and prep day. So I'm going quite soon to the track.
Okay, Prema, the team, it was founded by your father Angelo back in 1983, and is a major force in Italian motorsport, covering all the steps of junior formulas. So where did it all begin for you, and how have things evolved over time as a team?
But basically, I started since I was young to attend to all races in the summer when there was the school breaks. And then starting from early 2000, I was mostly following the media side. I didn't like much, to be honest, but it was just a way to enter into doing something more active while I was doing university. I studied management engineering, and back in 2005, at the end of my course, my dad say, "Do you want to be team manager in Renault 3.5?" At that time, World Series by Renault. And I say, why not? And we started. I was quite young. I had just to learn, but I was together with some people of proven experience. And from there, everything started. So beginning, I was just following a bit of regulation and so on the Renault 3.5. And nowadays, I basically run together with my dad the entire business.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, for followers of F2 who may not know, what is exactly your role today? What does it entail on a day-to-day basis for you that's in and out of race weekends?
Basically, I'm in F2. I'm the team principal of the team. At the beginning, I was team manager, but then with the regulation regarding restriction on numbers, I'm team principal. So I don't have any operational roles within the team. So I'm not dealing to the day by day, but I'm, of course, being one of the shareholder of the company, I'm at the end the one who, together with my group of people, we select the drivers. We run the team, and at home, of course, I follow in all the management of the team, from organization to logistics to all what is needed. Differently from Formula One, where there are 60, 70, 100, 200 people working in a racing team. Here we are 12, 13, and at home I'm of course doing other job. It is not just the Formula 2, but as Prema we have from outside karting till Formula 2. So there is 4 teams running in 5 different championship, and of course I need to deal my time in all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. A very, very busy man. Prema works closely with universities and students to develop their future talent. So how did you get to where you are today? I know you've said about the beginning part there with your dad inviting you to the team. So how did you get to where you are? And what advice do you give people looking to start a career, with a goal to working within a racing team?
First of all, from my point of view, it started because, of course, it was a family business, and it's always been considered as a family business. Till now, we are, yes, big, because we are around 65 people working within the entire structures. But on the other hand, sorry, by the other hand, we are still a family, because there is me, my dad, my mom, who is following all the financial side and is team manager in Formula 4, and my wife, who is doing all the marketing and media. So basically, it's a family-run team, but much more bigger than how it was in '83 when my dad started. There wasn't 3 people. For sure, the choice of doing management engineering was just to follow all the management side. I didn't like much the engineering side. I like much more the organization and the management side. So dealing with drivers, dealing with commercial aspect of the deal, doing all this kind of decision, deciding drivers and so on. On the other hand, having a background in engineering as well, I can understand as well when the engineers talking to themselves. From my point of view, saying that, from my point of view, is important for all the people who want to become racing engineers or management. is for sure a background in engineering is something important. We have strict relationship with university in Italy, with university in France, because my technical director is French. We had some engineers coming from after doing the masters in Cranfield. So we have quite a spectrum of engineering that come into us, which bring us to always a good level of student and a good level of person. On the other hand, for the management side, is a bit more difficult in our case because we are quite small. The management is composed by 2 or 3 people. I'm doing since couple of years some hour speech in the Bologna Business School, and there is a motorsport course that they invited me to join, and it's quite interesting. You see people also interested a lot in the management side. So it's quite, this is, I think, the way if you want to become manager, or on the other hand, engineers. If you want to become mechanics, on the other hand, you can just start with the mechanic school and then join into the work.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. I'm sure that lots of people that really appreciate that. So from a business perspective, Formula 2 teams don't have the same constructor background like Formula 1 teams do. So what is Prema's racing business model to explain to the feeder series followers, like how junior motorsport teams operate?
The main difference between Formula 1 and feeder series team is that the revenue in the feeder series are coming mainly for drivers. Instead, in Formula 1, there is still a lot of sponsor. If I consider our sponsorship revenues in 1 year, is less than 10%. Our sponsor is just family, friends, or friends that we know, and so on. All the money are coming for the drivers, and that is the biggest difference.
So as a team, Prema work with many other motorsport businesses. However, the connection between yourselves and Ferrari and their driver academy has proven quite strong. So how does that dynamic work from Prema's point of view? And does the obvious benefit of being an Italian team make that relationship work better?
I would not say that. We have worked with mainly all the motorsport entities present in Formula 1 and they choose us for our way of working, for our professionalism and so on. Yes, we have a strong link with Ferrari, but it's not the only one. With Ferrari, we started around 2010 when they developed the Ferrari Drivers Academy. We were one of the, not on the first year, but on the second year, we were joining them and working together. And from there on, we built up a strong relationship through different change of management within Ferrari. On the other hand, we have great relationship with other group. Now it's 2 years that we are working with Renault, with Alpine Academy, and I think I rate them a very good schema and a very good project. So honestly, there is not a particular link with Ferrari. We're trying to do our best with all the clients we have and give the maximum of our support and professionalism, and that's what will bring us.
That's fantastic. Well, Prema is without doubt a dominant and successful team in all its categories. You had an incredibly successful season last year. You annihilated all your rivals across the board in driver and team categories and won every accolade. So a big congratulations for that, first of all. So, and well, tell us, how does that feel, first of all?
For sure, it's been I would say a difficult season on one hand, because at the beginning we were not even sure that we would have started. There was this COVID pandemic impact that affects all of us, and still now is affecting the way of working, the way of traveling and so on. But I must say, thanks to the promoter, thanks to the federation, we will be able to run. And what proved last year is really the team effort. All our personnel were really angered to go back to work, angered to go back on track, and trying to do their best. And that's working out in an amazing season. We need to consider the bad side of the COVID, but we need to take also the great side of the great achievement that we've done. And we could not have done that without all the person that is part of Prema, all the engineers, all the mechanics, and all the drivers. Everybody were working with one single goal, which was to achieve the best. So I'm really grateful to have...
You have somebody behind you. I'm sorry, René, we had to hide.
No problem, but I didn't see from the camera. It was quite small, and honestly, okay.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's great that you sort of answered a question for me there, because I was going to ask you about COVID in 2020 and what the positives were that you've taken as a team and a business. And, you've pretty much answered
For
that.
sure, for sure. On the business side, I must say it's been difficult. We lost quite a lot, especially in junior Formula 4, and the regional. We lost quite a bit of revenues. We work really as a big team, as a big family in that time, and everybody understands the difficult situation and difficult moment. So at the end, it worked out in a perfect solution.
So you've had many great drivers work with Prema, and we've just seen one of them. Yep. Such as, you've had Esteban Ocon, you've had Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc, and more recently, Mick Schumacher. So how does it feel to see those drivers that you've helped to develop step up into Formula One?
Is an emotion. I mean, all these drivers that you say, together with Pierre, Giovinazzi, Antonio, and others running with us, and absolutely an emotion. It's something that we are proud of, and I'm really looking forward of the next one that are going into Formula One, because also now in Formula 2 we have 2 drivers that can fight to join into Formula 1.
Absolutely. I mean, this season you've got 2 Formula 3 champions in your pocket, and that's absolutely amazing, because you have drivers who know how to win.
Our way of working, we try always to promote inside what are our best drivers, and is like it's like a round turn that's to promote drivers from Formula 4 into regional, like we have done with Dino Beganovic this year, from regional into Formula 3, like we have done with Arthur Leclerc, and from Formula 3 into Formula 2. So it's a nice step. Robert won with us the 2019 championship. Oscar won with us the 2020 championship, and it was an automatic before Mick was winning with us the 2018 Formula 3 championship and moving with us in Formula 2. So that's our way of thinking the business as well. That's why we are trying to growing up not only driver side but also mechanic and engineering side.
Yeah, and also the side of the development, from the younger drivers to bring them up through the feeder ranks.
We try to get the drivers fidelized to us through all the categories. So that's my way of thinking, and let's see if it's right or not.
So we'll talking about this year, 2021. How does the new format impact the team?
For sure, it's a bit more difficult in terms of working hours and so on. Also in Formula 3, you need to be a bit more careful in race 1 and race 2, because it's important to score point everywhere. We need to see, I think the best is to take a balance at the end of the year to see how everything will work out. At the moment, we are still learning on it. We need to pay attention not to do much mistakes. We need to concentrate on doing our best result. At the end, the goal is always the same, trying to do the best in quali and try to score the maximum amount of points and in all the 3 races. So at the end, this is not changed. Of course, you need to play a bit, especially in Formula 2 with strategy and so on, but that's part of also of the learning process. So we will give a judge at the end of the season, but on the other hand, we are here to race, and we are here to compete, and we are here to try to do our best job. So whatever is the championship that we need to do, and whatever is the format we need to do, you cannot alike, but at the end, this is what we need to do, and we need to do in our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's now the second season with the new wheels. And have the rims been a positive change regarding performance on track? And how do you think it will impact Formula One following 2 years of working with them yourselves?
Honestly, it's been a change. It changed a bit the way you're thinking of the car, but on the other hand, it's the change that is the same for everybody. So we need to adapt them. And our goal last year was to learn that as quickly as possible compared to the others. Having said that, this is the way the automotive company are asking, and the tire manufacturer are asking. So at the end, we need to adapt on it, and that's as well Formula One will adapt on it.
So I'm sure as a driver, Robert Schwartzman may have been disappointed with his finishing position last year after such a lightning start. However, from the outside, he had an impressive season. So how do you reflect on it, and what learnings have been taken into
For sure,
2021
it's
for him?
been, you can see a very positive season for Robert. He's been a rookie. A rookie not always are immediately successful in Formula 2. And then it got some moment a bit difficult, but I think he learned that in Formula 2, you cannot be all or nothing. You need to be constant. More than that, you need to bring whole points every time. You need to try to do your best every time you are on the track. And that's the consistency is where it was missed a bit last year. Has been sometimes for unlucky situation, like for example the accident in Silverstone, some other times for team mistakes, or some other times for his own mistakes. So it's been a complex of situation, but I think that he learned the lessons that together we working even after a difficult starting weekend in Bahrain. Sorry, we are working to get the maximum out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he, on a personal note, I think he did absolutely fantastic last season. And, I'm hoping for great things this season for him.
No, absolutely.
And also Oscar, how has he fared in his step up into a new car?
But honestly, he stepped it immediately in with the right step, trying to learn as much as possible, working really well with Robert in the team point of view, and that's I think is fundamental to growing up as quickly as possible. The only mistake he's done has been, I would say, in race 3, when he could have brought home a podium, also a win, but that's also a learning process. People were telling that Oscar is not aggressive, but at the end he showed in Bahrain that he was really, really aggressive, and I think he will have a great season in front of him with the way he's approaching and the way he's working now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, finally, a couple of questions for René Rosin from our followers. So when you look back, what are your standout career highlights and your proudest moments with the team?
Every year is a bit different. It's a bit different. For sure, one after winning Lotto Championship in the old FIA Formula 3, the stepping up in Formula 2 in GP2 in 2016 has been extraordinary. Finished 1 and 2 with Pierre Gasly and Antonio Giovinazzi. That's been quite a memorable moment. At the end, back on the time, for sure, winning Macau Grand Prix for a Formula 3 team has been something exceptional. And of course, the continuing success and achievement that we are doing is something that makes me really, really proud, because it's a part of our hard job that every day we're putting in front of us, and we're trying to work really as a big family, as a big team. And I'm really proud of all the persons that are working with us.
That's fantastic. Just another question. Is René Rosin a racer? So if we put you in a Formula 2 car as a reserve driver, what lap times would you be looking at?
Last and very far from the before the last. I'm not a racer. I'm not a driver. I did few times with go-karting. I'm even beaten by my wife. So I'm not a very good driver on it.
Well, just one last question from me. So there are many videos on the team's social media channels of everybody in the team singing at every opportunity that they can. So how do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm not a very good singer. It's part of the way that we thinking. We cannot be always there is moment to be serious, and there is moment to be professional, but there is moment also that you need to enjoy. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, on the other hand, you cannot be successful from my point of view.
Yeah, I can't agree more with you. Well, René, grazie for your time and for a glimpse into the Prema team. I'm sure everyone will have enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better. I certainly have today. So best of luck this weekend and for the rest. And for the rest of the season. And ciao. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
And I'd like to thank you too for watching Inside Chat. Do please check out our other videos and content on YouTube and our other social platforms. All the links are in the description. And if you use YouTube regularly, you know the drill. So like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all our Formula 2 content. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.